Well, oh, and there's one. Oh, so, yeah.
You guys can sign in so you can be
Just
in the
roll it
lineup.
again. Wait, I don't know what.
It's so quiet in here.
Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to figure out how to share the agenda. Do you know what this is? Your screen.
It's just
Okay,
this one.
Catch up since
I
there's
guess
been that. Oh, God. That's just, and then just rained.
Yeah.
It's so hard to do.
can our Zoomers see the agenda?
That, I thought you. I got out.
Yes, I can see it.
So
Perfect.
I had to call them and I said, I need it now, not
Yeah.
wait for a month to call me and schedule. No, I need that. So the man just not even know they called. They called us last night. Said they'll be there 8 o'clock. But it took them over till they finished at 2. Now, well, and it's fast. And it's
Yeah, I thank God you are reconnected to the world.
now I don't have an excuse to not read the emails.
It's your internet.
Yeah, no, I switched it
Oh, okay.
because our line in our road and it's been down since the typhoon and they haven't even come
Yeah.
around.
How's everyone doing, by the way?
Put it that way, yeah.
Pretty good.
Um,
All right.
I gave up on the.
Yeah. I haven't been very impressed with the open.
Hey, Mr.
Ready?
Mhm.
Sorry. Anybody can check in. Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order for Southern Guam Soil Water Conservation District, regular board meeting with our partners. Today is our partner meeting. It is Wednesday, September 20. And it's at 4:07 PM. We're conducting it here at the University of Guam College of Natural Applied Sciences Building, room 202. And we are also online with our Zoom of other partners and board members. Okay, so can we get a roll call?
Chairman Michael Uggins,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Martha Tenorio,
Present.
District Director Glenn Dula,
I'm here.
District Director Yvonne Manglotin and Juanita, present. District Director Glenn Takai.
I don't see this.
He's out sick.
Said we were gonna go on Zoom though.
Like
Yeah,
he asked if we had quorum. And
Oh, okay. All right. That's it.
All right, and then
Now,
for staff, District Administrator Erica Pangolinan,
present.
Program Support Specialist Rita Barcinas. Present.
we do have the phone, so we can continue further. You want to introduce our partners now, Erica?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
right.
could do a round table.
Yeah, just go around the table. I didn't want to start.
Sure. My name is Eileen Uriarty, County Executive Director for USDA.
And I'm Charlene Hopkins. I'm with USDA Aphis Wildlife.
My name is Rosemary Crespado. I'm with Walking PA and I'm filling in for Miss Margaret. If I don't.
My name is Rios Guy. I'm a forester. Right.
And
All
Anybody
right,
else?
our Zoomers, we'll start off with Michael Jordan.
Hello, everyone. Sorry I could not be there in person. I'm of course with the U.S. Forest Service, State and Private Forestry. I'm the Pacific Islands Cooperative Forester, Forest Health. So many of you know me, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person.
And Patrick Keeler.
Hi, Patrick Keeler. Most of you know me from my time with the Coral Conservation Program and Department of Agriculture. I've switched jobs to the Sentinel Program Coordinator with the Nature Conservancy, and I'm working with DoD to get y'all more funding opportunities for your private constituents. So looking forward to working with you guys more on the future and, getting the ball rolling. And I'll need your help in the future to basically get the word out and the money to them. So I'll be contacting y'all soon.
Great, thank you.
can I just ask for those that are attending online, our partners, if you could just put your first name and your last name and the agency you work for in the chat. For our record, if you don't mind, thank you.
Just want to make sure our participants on Zoom heard that. If you could just go ahead and drop your name and title, agency in the chat, so that way we can have an accurate record of that for our minutes. Okay,
Somebody else, right?
no.
Okay, we'll move on to the next item, acceptance of the meeting agenda.
I move for the acceptance of the meeting agenda for today's meeting.
Okay,
I second the motion.
thank you. Any, Glenn, do you have any comments on the agenda? Yes.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thanks. Okay, moving on. Southern District Report.
Mr. Chair, the approval of meeting minutes.
What did you
Oh.
say?
Do you have
We skipped over number 3.
Oh, the approval of the meeting minutes for, okay, sorry, I didn't hear it. Item number 3, approval of meeting minutes for July 12th, 2023 meeting.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for the meeting held on July 12th, 2023, as already printed and posted.
I second the motion.
Okay, Glenn, any input on that, or you're good?
No, I second to approve it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, thanks. Now we'll move on to the Southern District Report.
Perfect. Okay, let me go ahead and bring up the file. Maybe blocked a bit. Oh. Okay, Buenas partners. My name is Erica Pangilinan, District Admin, and I'll be presenting our Southern District report on behalf of the board. Okay, first I'd like to thank our partners. Thank you all for taking the time out of your schedules to attend our board meetings. And these meetings are really a way for the partners and the board to get together and just hear out any updates from your agencies and see what's going on with your program activities. So that way we can see how we can better collaborate and provide input into the areas of soil and water conservation. The board recognizes that as you're giving us your time to report, that we should also report to you for the same reasons and purposes, so you can provide input into our activities and see how we can collaborate for soil and water conservation. So like previous reports, we'll go ahead and just do a quick rundown of our activities concerning budget, our budget performance, education and outreach activities, and policy initiatives that we're pursuing, and then our overall district operations. So really, really short and sweet. Again, and I also like to thank our board members for all the effort and time that they put into these activities. They make my job easy because they're so passionate about the work that we do. So just thank you to our directors. Hello, and for the record, Dr. Robert Barber with UOGCNet has just entered the building. Thank you, Dr. Baugh. Right now here's an agenda for you. Oh. And then we'll get you to sign in soon. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on. Oh, sorry, this was supposed to be up since. So for our FY 2023 budget allotment, the districts, we are for FY 2023 supposed to receive $66,733 for the whole fiscal year. As of August 31st, we've received a majority of that, which, you know, 60,324.50. And we're still waiting for a little bit. Big thank you and shout out to the University of Guam Business Office for passing through our allotments and providing also a detailed report every month that the money is received. So in the past, we'd had issues of being shorted of our budget. So now this accounting really helps us see where we're at. I will say that we're really getting piecemeal a lot in the distribution of our funding. So every month we get like 3,000. It would be nice if we can get a whole chunk in the beginning, but we'll work on that. But yeah, it's been good, and happy to know that we've received most of all. But this is the first time that the districts have received an additional funding through a miscellaneous appropriation in the amount of 50,000 for the Southern District, and then the Northern District will receive their 50,000. So far, we received nothing, but I did reach out to UOG to see if they would request that for us, or is that something that we have to do? Dr. Bob, I don't know if you know, but the business office did say that they'll check into it, but wow. But time is ticking, you know, so.
They did come through. Yeah, regents aren't gonna do it.
Wow.
Phase one.
So Dr. Bob, that means you're making more than the district?
Already.
Okay. So at our next board meeting, we'll go ahead and provide a more detailed report of our financial performance, which will also be part of our FY 2023 annual report. So good thing that the Southern District, we are very aggressive in our grants. Well, you know, not as aggressive as our partners, but we're taking our baby steps. So we're just really happy that we have a few active grants going. We have the NACD Technical Assistance Grant and the GACD Technical Assistance Grant. We also just started moving forward our REPI grant with NACD, so we're excited about that. We did just close out our USDA NRCS Guam Long Range Planning Grant. And then most recent, our Department of Ag Farmer Stress Grant, which we will be presenting a plan of action for adoption during our next board meeting. and some MOUs up and coming and work financial plans and other agreements. So Dr. Bob, I'm sure will talk about the University of Guam CNO RIA grant. And then we are also negotiating our USDA APHIS Wildlife Service Work Financial Plan for FY 2024. And then currently we do have a current agreement with USDA NRCS through a cooperative agreement where we're sharing of resources. And some other partnered projects that we are really prioritizing as the Joint Chiefs Making Southern Guam More Firewise. So Rudy, happy to see you. I don't know if you're reporting on that, but looking forward to some updates on that. And then the Habitat Conservation Plan with Department of Ag. Moving on, just also to kind of segue with all of these grants, a lot of the activities are focused on education and outreach. So the districts are planning a soil health workshop scheduled for September 30th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Inalaha Mayor's office. And this workshop is the first of many within its series. We did receive grant funding to promote soil health. And those who attend these workshops will receive a soil health test kit or soil test kit, and then the districts will ultimately pay for the soil test done by the University of Guam. And this is an all-in an effort to increase soil health plans developed by UOG and NRCS. So please help us get the word out. I know that there's also another event happening that day. Rita, right? What is that? Is it a tree planting thing?
I think he knows more about it than I do.
Oh,
And I think it's well, they'll have one in their new site. And as well as Guam Forestry will have our own fencing at our interesting.
is that the same
On the same day.
Yeah, so that's gonna be
Okay.
the Saturday. Anyone
for everyone?
Yeah.
There's supposed to be 100 dead class that day too.
Wow.
Those
Mm,
trees, or is it gonna be daytime?
They're all day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow. Well, maybe we need to see with the team if we should push this back so we get all the attention and not have to share. But so I'll let you know, partners, what's going on with that. But as ag professionals and environmental subject matter experts, you're encouraged to attend as well to kind of get a refresher on soil health and how to collect a soil sample. Okay, so we'll keep you all updated on that. Okay, so moving on, as you know, another important role the districts play is that we are advocates for the region's farmers, our island's farmers, and for programs that would better support conservation efforts of our natural resources. So locally, we have a few proposed initiatives that we'd like to bring up with our legislative leaders, such as utilizing the Invasive Species Fund to support feral swine management control. And then also recognizing our Guam Association of Conservation Districts as the official state association within our mandate. So currently it's right now a nonprofit, but like other districts in their states, they have a state association that is recognized by their government. Yeah. So all it is just having the GACD within our mandate. So we're really looking at that. So some policy initiatives that we are pushing at the national level include, increasing incentives for producers, because currently the incentives that are offered through programs such as the EQIP or CSP just doesn't feel much of an incentive, especially for our smaller acreage farmers in remote areas like here. Also increasing transportation cost reimbursement rates. Good thing we have FSA here, but yeah, I know you're advocating for that too. It was a big talk back in Hawaii, so yeah, we'll see. Also establishing, this is a new one, so shout out to Chairman and Director Glenn, Takai for looking at this one, but we would like to establish a local funding pool for air quality initiatives and practices through NRCS. So we're looking at this practice known as the combustion system improvement, where let's say, for example, a farmer has a tractor that he or she bought back in 1983, and nowadays they have better tractors or equipment, that are a lot better for the air.
Especially with the exhaust.
Yes. So there may be incentives or financial assistance that can be offered to farmers to replace their old 1983 model. Okay. Yeah, and then just last but
Sorry.
oh, go ahead.
But there's something we need to do here, right, on this, as far as establishing that initiative, right? We have to put that in within, doesn't have to be in our strategic.
It might have
Right.
to be a policy locally, but I don't know. We'll see with the JB Martin.
Okay.
Okay, and then this is another initiative with NACD is the inclusion of Pacific Islands SWCD funding support through the did you want to talk about that?
Well, basically, you know, especially the outer island like FSM, Palau, and who was that? American Samoa, you know, how they're limited funding, and even us here in Guam, we don't have as much funding either. We struggle to make our meetings back in the States and all that, and you know, stuff like that. So even us, it could help us, but to attract those other islands who are not currently part of the NACD, we need to find a way to help them get going, right? And you know, they're doing compact of renegotiation at this time, so we really want to push through something like this to help have a direct funding source to those islands for to support the SWCDs in their areas, and hopefully that will help get them to join back in. And not just that, but also making the programs available to them, because from my understanding, a lot of the programs are not available. Like Erica, the equip and stuff like that, right? It's not open to their the only thing they offer them is like technical support, right?
Yes,
Basically.
technical
And
assistance.
you know, so you gotta do something more, right? To entice them back into, to make it worth their while. I mean, we were we went to Palau last year, and was that last year?
Yes,
So long.
I know.
But you know, you saw all kinds of support from Japan, China, Taiwan, even the European Union had big signs on their walls of these facilities that they help support and fund. And there was no US flag anywhere to be found, nowhere. So, you know, if we want them back into our group, we need to make it worth their while. So that's kind of where what we're looking at on this thing here.
Okay. All right, so thank you, Mr. Chair, for that. Oh,
See?
I don't know, you might recognize the chief of USDA and NRCS, Terry Cosby. So part of the district operations, you know, we're always looking at ways to see how we can grow in capacity and provide professional development. So the staff of the SWCDs, myself and Rita and Jenna Lynn from the North, we attended an operational training in Hawaii with USDA and NRCS. It was a really great training, and we're happy to be invited to attend and to get some great new skills learned in terms of building team work and, you know, improving our communication. But it was really great. It was nice to meet the chief and learn about the priorities NRCS has in store, and about all the billions of dollars that are available for conservation. So just be on the lookout for that. But yeah, it was great. I just wanted to highlight that because it was It was an awesome training. I think Michael Jordan has his hand up.
Yeah, sorry for backtracking, but I just was curious with the compact countries and the soil conservation districts. Is there an actual mechanism through compact negotiations that would actually give funding for the soil and water conservation districts to not only do technical support for more things, or is this something that needs to be developed? I'm just wondering if it's already stated in their compacts.
Dr. Bobino.
No, but I do know that if the national was to put pressure on USDA could pay attention because ag development would be part of it and overall industry development, those issues would be part of the compact negotiations. So
Yeah.
through the NACD, you guys could potentially have a voice to get them to look at it. And the dream would, of course, be able to extend the programs with the money, but at the least, you could maybe get a line item in there for them to support the conservation districts. Because I mean, you guys are getting 50,000. If they got, 10,000, that would each go so far, that would be just nothing in this overall compact thing. So it's something that if NACD was to work at the Washington level, USDA, and let them know, there might be something. I'm sure there is an ag representative, at least from the foreign ag service and nowhere else within embassy groups that are looking at this. So
Well, that's what this whole thing is about right now. We're pushing that. I was there for the Farm Bill Task Force in March, and I spoke directly with the USDA's leadership and from NRCS, FSA, and all the way up to what's his name, Erica? The USDA, the head of the secretary. I always forget his name. USDA secretary. Huh?
Is it Vilsack?
Yeah, there you go, Vilsack, yeah, Vilsack. So we did talk to all of those people. We brought up a lot of these, and including like the transportation reimbursement program and others. I did talk to all those guys like that. And so what we're trying to do here is we're trying to develop a paper
Position
that we
paper.
want to submit. Our leadership asked us to put up some kind of a document to support this thing through the compact.
okay.
And they're already like trying to push buttons already there to kind of get something going on that. So it's good. That's what we got this thing here.
Okay. Any more questions regarding this? Thank you for that question. It's nice to hear Dr. Bob's approval. Okay. Okay. All right, so just to close out, the Southern District, we are holding our partner meetings every other month. So our next one won't be until October, November. And then our regular board of directors meetings are held every third Wednesday of the month. These are our social media resources. Of course, you can access all of the meetings and the recordings on our YouTube page. We have our Facebook, Instagram, which we're wanting to beef up coming up soon. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us here or any of us. Okay, Q&A. Otherwise, we could just start the partner reports. And if you had any comments or questions, you can go ahead and just let us have it. But
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I'll turn it back to you.
We'll just move on unless anybody wants to have a question. If you just raise your hand or so. So we'll move on to the partner reports. We'll start with who was that?
Where's our sign-in sheet?
Oh, EP, I'm sorry. Yeah. There it is. So go ahead. They're Rosemary, right? Or Pablo?
I actually don't have any. I'm just filling in for Miss Margaret.
We're gonna ask you questions.
She didn't give you anything to.
Oh,
Okay, tell her we said hi.
Yes.
And I met her brother. So, okay, so we'll move on then to Eileen from FSA. Thank you.
Speaking of RTCP, the Reimbursement and Transportation Cost Payment Program, the deadline to submit a signed application is September 29th, which is next week Friday, and there's a lot of new board members. So I kind of want to explain the program real quickly. if That's okay,
Sure.
Mr. Chair. Yeah. So RTCP, the Reimbursement and Transportation Cost Payment Program, reimburses producers a portion of the shipping costs that they have to pay in order to produce an ag commodity. So whatever we buy off island or on island has some sort of shipping cost attached to it. So again, it's a reimbursement of the shipping cost and not the cost of the goods. And this is to try and make us a little bit more competitive with the states, which, I mean, shipping costs is soaring, so that's only hard to do. Right now, it's depending on what type of receipt you submit. So if you order something from off island and it has a shipping cost, a line item outside of the actual cost of goods, you get an automatic 25%. Now, the 25% comes from the max fuller rate. So Guam gets 25%, CNMI gets 25%. I believe Hilo gets 18%. So their fuller rate is 18%. So again, the deadline is September 29th. If you know of any commercial producers who are interested and would like to participate, the program is free. The only thing they need to do is produce receipts. Receipts of anything they use for the farm, fertilizers, pesticides, stuff like that. It's a fiscal year program, so the dates are October 1st, 2022 to September 30th, 2022. Any questions? I know I kind of ran through that. Please.
great.
2022.
Yeah, it's a fiscal year program, so fiscal year 2023, so it's October 1st. Yeah, October 1st, 2023.
Oh, I
Any questions? Okay, so the next one is, so let me just kind of backtrack. The Farm Service Agency offers disaster programs to producers, farmers and ranchers in Guam and CNMI. We oversee CNMI as well. We oversee CNMI as well. Our staple for FSA is called NAP, the Non-Insured Crop Disaster Assistance Program. A lot of people know it as crop insurance. So we have a few deadlines for that, depending on the crop that you have for floriculture, so flowers, and aquaculture. So if you know of anyone who has aquaculture, they can get crop insurance for their crop. The deadline is December 30th. So next week. And then for farm loans, we also offer farm loans. Every month, the interest rates change. So right now, our operating loans are at 5.125%. And our farm ownership loans are at 5%. So far, we have 13 applications that we received for fiscal year 2023. 8 were approved, 7 were for operating loans, 1 was for a real estate loan. And then 2 are in the process of being approved, and then 3 were withdrawn. If you have any questions for that, Doreen Rivera would be the person to call. Her contact number is 300-8552. And then the last one that I kind of wanted to bring up, we have another USDA agency called USDA Risk Management Agency. Pardon me. They don't have an office here in Guam. So right now it's California that I'm working with. They're looking at expanding coverage into the Pacific. They are planning on coming out in January 2024, and they asked me to do a kind of a feeler to see if farmers would be interested. Now this is crop insurance, so they work directly with what is it called? Insurance providers. Yeah, they work directly with insurance providers. Now, this is very different than the crop insurance we offer, because it's straight through the agency. For RMA, producers will work directly with an insurance agency, kind of like your cars or your houses. And then depending on the crop that you cover, it's very specific to the kinds of benefits that you get. So again, they'll be out January 2024, and they're hoping to kind of educate producers on what they offer. It is not free, like the crop insurance we offer. There is a premium that you have to pay.
So how does that impact the
Okay.
NAP?
So, right now, all crops are covered under FSA because we do not have any FCIC crop insurance on island. If RMA comes in and they decide they're gonna cover watermelon, we will no longer offer watermelon under our program. It'll be through RMA.
Mhm.
That's how it works.
And who's gonna decide that, them?
No, you guys, actually, the farmers, I guess what they do is they choose the more prominent crop, if it's watermelon, if it's papaya, if it's cucumbers,
Corn.
sure.
You're looking for the most common crops, that is what you're looking for.
Correct, because the more producers participating, the better. So it'll be based on, when they come out in January, what the producers.
So do they set up
So-
like focus groups?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna do in January. They wanna talk to UOG, Department of Ag, other government agencies and the farmers themselves. They're gonna hold outreach events. They'll probably be here for a week and kind of tell the producers what they have to offer and then the benefits of that.
So, I mean, so when you say it's based on the farmers, right? So what if you have, say, 5 or 10 farmers that want that, but you still have others that don't want it? How is that gonna impact the farmer?
I think it's gonna be up to them. So it's like a fact finding committee that's coming out. Right now, the Virgin Islands, they're starting their own RMA. And so they kind of wanted to reach out to the Pacific area. Even if, let's say farmers want it, they still need to find an insurance provider who's willing to cover it.
So we don't want
Well,
to.
that's a big difference.
So there's two buy-ins, right? The insurance agency and then the farmers.
Mm.
Have you done any preliminary work with insurance in the region?
No, that'll be RMA.
Oh,
They're
well,
gonna-
have they?
Not that I know of. I gave them your email address as well as Jesse. But they wanted to contact someone from UOG to talk to them about crops. So if there's another name you want me to give them, I can give them another name. But you guys are only
No,
two.
that's what you're asking. I would want to reach out to someone in Hawaii, but,
So right now, I think Hawaii only has papayas, macnut, and coffee covered under RMA.
Mm.
really,
Mhm.
this is like trying to get a farm loan, nobody, no insurance company would be about as likely to want to do this as banks. So
The insurance agency that will be subsidized by RMA, so they'll get something out of it.
okay, so yeah, when they call us, we find out the information.
Yeah.
You only have like 3 insurance companies on out, and Morelands and Calvo. Is there another?
Alpha,
Alpha's part of Morelands,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Cassidy's,
Yeah, they're underwriting.
And-
Yeah.
National. Oh, yeah.
Nambo.
Okay, yeah,
But, yeah, basically, it's just not small enough.
yeah, so it's those going to be, we got to talk to them. If we had the information, it wouldn't be hard to find out who's the person to talk to. At least.
that's it.
Wow, awesome.
Wow, a lot of good opportunities.
Just thinking what she would say.
You
So
already know my number. You're thinking for.
Yeah. No, on the.
Watermelon.
The transportation reimbursement.
Our-
you know. So that was one of those items we brought up too, right? So we're trying to increase, you remember how we talked about in your. the
We did
overall
not talk
fund?
about anything.
Oh, yeah. No, I was talking to you.
We did not talk about anything.
But yeah, you doing either increasing the overall pool of money, right? Or
Yeah, so the rule of thumb is if producers or ag cooperators are not satisfied with, like, let's say, the rates of reimbursement and stuff, the person that they would have to go to would be their congressperson, right, to lobby, because we are not allowed to lobby.
yeah.
And so, yeah, if there any, the step would be Congress or congressman, which is Congressman Moylan, and then he would
Yeah.
bring it up from there, and then we would get a.
But also our NACD is allowed to lobby.
Yeah.
And that's
County committee members are not allowed to lobby, but NACD is.
Yeah,
So what if you're both? What if you're in the CDA category?
Really fine line.
that's why Teddy was there.
Well, I'm not a county
We'll get you planting again so you can.
No, I've got plenty of play. I thought no one's gonna twist my arm again. But I want to stand off.
Okay, thank you, Eileen. for
You're
that.
welcome.
Moving on to the next one is Rudy. Oh, right? Yep.
September 30th, you know, every day, you'll faculty from that day. We also have something on October 28th, which is our annual trick or treats, planting costs. October is also gonna be Opera Month and Fire Prevention Week for us.
Where are you planting it?
And it's in Rachel, Oscar.
That's gone.
It'll be on social media. So we can do it for our fires. While forestry still has two positions open. So, you know, anyone interested, that is not going to DOD for, you know, the other higher paid people.
What position do you have open?
Forestry position. And I believe we're also supposed to hire for forestry aid positions that entry level, work.
But the forestry too would be someone with a bachelor's going to have that. Oh, well, yeah, we can let our students know. Our graduates.
Yeah. Moving on, other than that, our plantations down south, or not plantations, reforestation areas down south. To need maintenance, so we have a stipend group available. It's every 2 weeks from 9 to 1, Tuesday to Friday. They can come help maintain the fire breaks around the reforestation areas. And they'll get paid a stipend. It's $18 an hour.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, my son might be a day that.
I know. I might be interested.
No, 18, 50, something like that.
Yeah.
So
That was what days?
That's right.
What days is that?
It's every 2 weeks, Tuesday to Friday, 9 to 1.
every other week. But you want it for all 3 days, not just come in one day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're assisting our guys with maintaining the fire breaks.
Okay.
said every other week.
It's every 2 weeks, then a week break, then 2 weeks on.
Oh,
Okay, so
2
2 weeks
on
working,
one.
then a week off, and then 2 weeks.
So who do we contact?
You can contact me.
Okay. But what's the age and
Generally, we prefer someone that already has a driver's license and they're right. They're gonna have to turn in a W-9 form to RCO. Because RCO needs on that, that's the checks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, wow.
18 and over.
If they're with their parents.
So this is basically, is this bush cutting or is it hand slashing or how do you?
It's just bushman.
It's bush cutting.
And our guys will, train, don't cut that tree.
They'll train us how to bush cut. Yay.
So, yeah, anyone that,
Okay,
in between jobs.
that's cool.
Last thing is that, after the typhoon, there's a lot of mulch that was generated. So our nursery parking lot has like 10 truckloads of mulch. It was supposed to be for the bottom side farmers, but no one's picking it up. So we're opening that up to the general public. Anyone can come in and just get that mulch off of our park.
has that been checked for any kind of?
It has been cleared off.
Oh, great.
Wow.
What are the Army of Agriculture?
Yeah, that's right. You can see it.
They have to hand
What
show.
what are the times they can come in?
8 to 5.
8 to 5 Monday to Friday. Okay.
Is there any form of loading mechanism or like a truck with a
That's
photo?
you. So you would,
So if you come there with your truck, you're loading it yourself?
Yes.
That's why no one came to pick it up.
That's exactly why I don't have these things.
Everyone be two guys on there.
Yeah.
But you know, really, there's a great opportunity because the mayors have the ability to get front end loaders. If you were to talk to the mayor.
Oh, that's
Eli,
true.
For
Yeah.
the Eli Gardner residents, he might be able to give you a date that anyone from the Eli, Gardner, he would load it. That might be something worth looking at, because then I can go.
But that's the whole, that's what you have to bring here, right? You get that one long strip of, mulch, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I do believe that we're even supposed to get north, we gotta get a big deal out of this.
Do they need to call like an appointment to come in, or can they show up?
There's two guys that are supposed to.
Yeah.
And that.
So JR, right? JR. It's all posted.
Good to know.
So,
You
I
guys
don't know.
have the- I'm sorry.
Okay.
I know.
Like mulch available
Yes.
for.
Yeah.
But that last time it was, we said one, 5 months.
Yeah.
Right, but now anyone.
That one I saw, so it was out there.
So there's no more of these programs like when I was in high school, we had a youth conservation corps. And they hired like hundreds of high school students. And they actually picked them up with the school buses around the island and took them to those places where you guys are maintaining those forests. We planted those when we were teenagers, those up there in Tarzan Falls. PD with the guns, all those, Sella Bay, Seti Bay, all of that. That was done by youth over the summer. It was just a program. There's nothing like that going on anymore.
Every difference, our advertised chances and service.
You talking about planting a lot of, I mean, look at how many trees are out there, all the way down to Tarzan Falls, down to the Naval Mag area. Like that was just a few summers.
Mm.
The program I read. Anyways, okay, sorry. Who's next? Barbara, Dr. Barbara.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Huh?
Oh, no.
Let her go from that last person. Yeah.
Oh, who did I use? You? Oh,
No word.
I'm sorry.
We saved it for last.
Sorry.
At our Zoomers. Okay.
So yeah, Wildlife Services is still removing feral swine. We did have 2 weeks in May going June where we weren't active like during and post typhoon. While we were trying to get everything squared away and then get everything put back up. We've still been removing somewhere between 150 and 100 pigs pretty much every quarter. We're up to 91 so far for Q4. So far this quarter, we've had traps out in 11 locations in the south in 6 different villages. And we've talked to 9 other folks that are either on the waiting list or couldn't receive assistance because their property didn't have space for a trap or it wasn't safe to set one there, that kind of thing. There's only 4 people on the wait list right now. Our capture per unit effort for this year has been around 5 hours of effort for each pig captured. So actually pretty good. We're still using mostly corral traps for capturing pigs. We have had some struggles with our corral traps, particularly right before the typhoon and then post typhoon, since Docomo has not provided great service. So our cameras to watch the traps and then drop the doors has been struggling. So we've been setting tripwires instead. But we are getting through that. We started to have success working with Docomo about 2 weeks ago. And so we're thinking that our numbers will go up to being catching whole sounders again, rather than catching a handful of pigs that make it in before the trap door drops because they hit the tripwire. So working through that piece. Other notes, we presented at One Water with the Northern District. And then had one other school outreach event. And then we're working on our agreement with you guys for fiscal year 24.
So there's a lot of pigs ever since the typhoon, they've been destroying everything.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a lull directly after, which may be pigs not moving or maybe just people trying to take care of all of their things. But we've been receiving a lot more calls throughout end of July through present. More than we would normally for wet
Yeah,
season.
They're, because I guess the food source is gone down, right? So now they're really eating, like I was saying earlier before, they're attacking the bananas trees down to the roots and everything. So all the trees that fell down during the storm, it exposes their root, and that's where they're going after. They're going after that.
Well, and then all the fruiting plants that would be
Yeah.
fruiting are not because they were destroyed during the typhoon. So I think it's gonna be a pretty aggressive
I have
problem
all
throughout
the-
this fall and spring.
I have rooting holes that are 2 feet deep, literally. The one of them, they completely circled the power pole with a huge trench. Right in the yard.
Just curious.
The good news is we shot that pig. It was
How big
big.
was it?
It was over 300 pounds.
Actually, I'm just curious what's the average size of the pigs you're catching? Are they like more like the little ones or are they like, because I've seen one with like a red mohawk, like this big. It was.
Yeah.
And so we definitely get really large pigs here and there, but I would say the average adult size pig that we're capturing is more like 150 or so pounds. I guess another point, we provided pigs for a meat workshop here at UOG, not that long ago as well, I forgot about that. But yeah, so most of the time are more like 150 pounds for adults, and often a sow will be accompanied by 2 sets of piglets.
Yeah.
So she'll have her smaller piglets and then her piglets that are from her previous.
They don't
birthday.
want to let go.
Yeah, they just haven't left yet. So we get a good number of smaller pigs too, because we have all those piglets that are there.
What's the contact number?
Yeah, I can give you one of my cards if you'd like. Or, and then my number is 671-685-0816 for the record. I also brought some pamphlets today on like diseases and the parasites that pigs have and that kind of stuff, if anybody wants some.
And that's for people who catch them and then consume them after cooking it, right?
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you're cooking pork well, like you always would, but even more so if it's a feral swine.
All right, so.
But then also just the other things that you can get from being in contact with their urine or their feces. So pigs, when they urinate in a water body in particular, or in mud, and then you go walking in it or you go swimming there, you can get leptospirosis is the big one. But then there are a couple other diseases that are communicable. But even like through your mucous membranes and stuff, so if you're diving down into your favorite pool that Tarzan Falls, there's a possibility that pigs were there.
Your eyes and something.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
just to spread awareness, so I've got like diseases, parasites, and then I've got some on the effect that they have on the environment as well, that I can share.
Thank you.
Yeah. One other, so we talked, and while I was at One Water, folks mentioned that it might be important and useful if we had some of the pamphlets that were more Guam specific rather than general. So I'm gonna be working with our public affairs folks to see if we can maybe readjust some of those files and introduce a little bit of Chamorro language and or focus on things that are from here.
That'd be great.
I think that's like a long-term, probably not gonna happen in the next few days, but maybe over a year or two. End up with a more Guam specific pamphlet,
That would be nice.
because we do a lot of outreach and go to a lot of presentations and see a lot of schools.
Good, so they see people local, so they know that, oh yeah, this is part of our thing, right?
Yeah,
It's a great idea.
yeah, because the comment kind of part of it came from, I showed a presentation which was all pictures from here. And then passed out pamphlets that had pictures from Mississippi or
The Midwest.
Georgia.
or Illinois, you know. That kind of thing. Texas, all the things in Texas. But
Awesome.
Hey, thank you for that. And now, Dr. Barber.
So, did any of you attend the session that was held on this ag census that's coming up over in 127? I had to rush in, got to spend 10 minutes in the room, lodged my objections, and then got out. It looks like Extension is going to be the primary contact point for the ag census, and I think it's a mistake. I think it should be a Department of Ag. I think if I don't know what's happening with the communications with feds and ag and why they're not, but anyway, ag has to be involved in the census, and I'm telling our leadership this because they have the list of the bona fide farmers, and that and the Chamorro Land Trust Ag list are the two most complete lists of people who are actually supposed to be engaged in that. But nonetheless, it looks like it's going through point. We got a call to A&R and Ag and Natural Resources down below. They want us to start giving them our list of farmers. Now we're looking at the broadest version of a USDA definition of farmer. It's anyone who either produces $1,000 of produce for sale or consumption. And it doesn't have to make sale. It doesn't have to make consumption, but you produced $1,000 of produce. That's going to be the definition for the census. Now, if done right, we can easily have over 1,000 people on this island who meet that definition. Past census have only looked at maybe 200 plus. Ag has, I don't know how many people are on the bona fide ag list right now, but my guess is around 500 or more, if not considerably more.
There could be that number, but a lot of it is not. I mean, the last time I saw something in that, there's a lot of deceased on that list.
Yeah, and so what we got to do is, this is because they need to go through, and they're not planning on doing necessarily visit every farm kind of thing. They just need to get contact. But I'm just system of contact button involved just one attempt at a phone call, and that's it. Then you write them off. Because it's supposed to be a true estimate of what's out there. But anyway, one of the things they're asking for right now is supposed to come up with a farm list. So I was thinking it would be a very useful exercise if we could get the southern, the northern, the co-op, each one of you to list the actual farmers in your organization that you know of and get the names and some basic contact. Key is phone number or email, one of those two contacts. But if we can get these lists and get them to Peter's office over here, because it looks like that's where it's going to be out of. But if we could ask, and so I'm asking you, so whatever is the best way you can compile a list of people who you know in the South are producing $1,000 of produce or more. And even if it's just each of you just doing a recall of who you know's out there and getting the names down, that would honestly just the people sitting at the table right now, I bet you could come up with 40 farms that we just getting those names down and making sure they're on the list. I'm going to go through some of my past workshops and pull up lists. I'm going to approach the land trust to see if we can get at least a list of theirs that are ag leases. And then we're going to go to the co-op and ask, of course, for the 70 or so co-op members, we'd like to get that. I'd like to ask Eileen for her list of all federal programs. I know we won't get it, but it never hurt. But yeah, we could FOIA it, but maybe the better way would be to have the Soil and Water District, who was the partner, request all people in FSA and NRCS programs. Because every one of those should at the minimum be on the list, because those are federally funded farmers, and so we should get all them. Anyway, the census is coming up. If we're going to do it, I'd like to see us do it right. I don't want to get dragged into it, but I'd like to see it get done right for once since the 90s. Get a correct census.
An accurate
census. There's a lot of funding that spills out of that, and so as y'all talk about wanting more money for transportation, well, they look at the number of farmers on Guam when they decide how much money they're going to give out there. And if we're only reporting 150 farmers are from Guam, Samoa reports over 2,000 farmers. You better believe they're counting every one of the people like me who grows $1,000 plus out there. Every small agroforest is counted on their thing, or was when I last was there 15 years ago, and I don't think it's changed. It's allowed. We just need to get out there and try and get it. And all they need to be able to do is establish in some way, identify and get as much information as they can. But so we're going to be looking at lists, and I'll be following up with y'all. If y'all can get Erica and the others to start figuring out how to get from you guys who would be farmers in your area, that would be very useful. Thank you. So that's
That'll be Rita's.
Okay, oh, that's gonna be Rita. Oh, well, okay, I'm in business then, all right. Um,
Can I just add, I think the key component there is education for the farmers and them understanding why it's important for
Right.
them to, because a lot of the time they're like, why? You know, they don't understand the importance that it does bring a lot of federal dollars. And then if they understand that, I feel like a lot of them will be more willing to move forward to.
That's not a bad idea. We should
All
probably.
should just send that message, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just an awareness campaign.
Yeah, you know what, maybe we should even come up with a one-page flyer about why the.
No, it's when you have a typhoon, you know,
Yeah.
everybody knows already who they are and
How
then
many
you're.
farmers we had?
Another-
If you don't participate,
Right, right.
it's fine.
Yeah. So now we gotta maintain it.
Yeah, and also you guys are tasked with maintaining and updating your list, and so you've got the people who voted, but this would be another level you can do to start making your own list of your southern. Get it and figure out who are your active members, and maybe one of the ways to be an active besides participating in your workshops is to be participate in the census. You know, that could be another criteria. Because what you should have at your next voting is only active members voting, not just any landowner anymore. And that was part of the legislative mandate you guys to fix. Well, you got the people who voted. Now let's start narrowing that list further. But anyway, I just want to make that up because that's been bugging me. And but it looks like it's here. So we've got to try to make it do, if they're gonna do it, they just gotta do it right.
Do you know what the window for the census is gonna be, like the dates that they'll actually be?
I think it'll probably start next spring and be about a 1 year period is what I think will happen. It's, we're already late when it started, I think, so. You know.
The other thing I want to put out, I mean, I don't know if I want to put it out there, but I'm going to. In Hawaii just finished their census. So I don't know if it was the University of Hawaii or NAS that specifically asked FSA to help. And so a lot of the FSA employees were like, had a day or two, I think it was like a weekend, they had some sort of, I don't know if it was a fair, but it was FSA employees sat there with other people.
Agencies.
Yeah, and helped take the data.
Oh,
Like I said, I don't know if I want to put it out there, but I mean.
well, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, so it's taken and I'll feed that back to powers to be and see what we can get. That's a great idea.
It was like a day or two.
Yeah.
And they all did that. They
Appreciate it.
even flew people from American Samoa and other places to
Wow.
assist in Hawaii.
Wow.
And all those white people coming here to help us.
I know, that'd be nice.
Good PR for them. Okay, so that was one thing, been trying to get to the small land trust meetings. They're on the third Thursday, but I now have Senate on the third Thursday of every month, and so I don't know how I'll ever get to the land trust to get this stuff going. I do want to get with them somehow and get the workshops going. I guess it won't be through their meeting, though. I'll have to get another way. So that's coming up. But the real thing is this MOU we want to do with you guys. We've met with the mayor. We've been around. We're going to try your demonstration again for urban agroforestry. We're going to fence it. We've already bought fencing material. So he wants woven T-poles and woven wire mesh fence for the front portion where the kids would approach it, and then a wrap around the back with electric fence. And so Mark's supposed to have, before this money disappears at the end of the week, Mark's supposed to have gone, and I hope he did it today, and work with accountants on getting some electric fence off of Lynn's specifications. Get some electric fence materials ordered, but we're going ahead and spending the money to get your first step is to get the Narahan thing fenced in, and the Narahan mayor is all into it. We get an MOU signed with you, then we'll take that and modify it, and we'll get an MOU. We talked a bit more about roles and, you know, his commitment of his people's time and our responsibilities to him and others. And so that went well. So we would like to get the MOU going with you guys, and then we'll participate in all these things you're doing with soil, but we hope you'll participate and help recruit the rest as we continue on down there and try to set it around up at a training site. I promised that around there to get these MOUs going. We will help put he has his big screen, he has the speakers, but I said, I'll get you a microphone, a camera, and a mini computer attached to the back of your TV so you can do Zoom type of web trainings right in that room. And we need to help me remember, was anything else we talked to the mayor about? What promises we made at this point? I'm hoping that's it. That's already a lot of money. That was it, Dan. I think so. He was all absolutely wants to get it going, blames the whole thing on the pigs. That's good. I think I blame the whole thing on our lack of prior working out all the fine details, but we'll blame the pigs for now. Make sure the pigs can't get
Whatever works.
Yeah, and the key secret is make sure there's no pigs that can get anywhere near it next time.
But that's not a big area. I mean, why waste your time with electric fences? Perimeter fencing and all.
Oh, because I want to show both, actually. I'd like to do,
Oh,
I honestly think long-term electric fence is gonna be the solution for people who are trying to grow crops with big problems. You just gotta get good fencing around it.
No, it works. You just gotta make sure you put it up right and maintain.
And maintain, see, and here's the thing no one's doing is sheet mulching under the electric fence gives you 9 months of weed free. If you put like 3 layers of cardboard down there, you got 3 months of weed-free area or minimum maintenance area versus, I mean, we got a bush head about every month or something, right?
Spray it.
Oh, spray, yeah, okay.
Herbicide.
Yeah, I'm a non-roundup guy, so yeah, but yeah, you could roundup. Okay, so those were the 2 key things that I know of going on right now. I would tell y'all, I've been noticing the extensions of webpage with the publications. It's not easy. You have to scroll through maybe 20 different pages, but there's a lot of good publications out there. A lot of old ones have reappeared. There's been a lot of new ones coming out. Joe, Carol, and Mark, and Jesse, and those guys have been fairly productive in generating. So at some point, you might want to check out some of those extension publications, particularly for soil. I mean, there's a whole series on there now about taking soil samples and other.
They're all down there.
They're not down there. They're on the webpage. You got to go into the UOG, the CNAS.
Because I always look on UOG.
So
because
what you
we
do,
publish
yeah,
for the- and it's- oh,
there should be
Now
on the
you're
front
right.
page of it. But if you go to the colleges and then you go, once you go to the CNAS and then you go down to cooperative extension, then you go to publication. There's the popular pubs that is some of it, but then if you go just down to the publication page, not the popular pubs, but the publication page, that's where you get the 30 pages of about 10 pubs per page, and you can just scroll through it. Its search engine is not very good, so I can't even find my own publications through the search engine. But but we're trying to work on this. But I got to hand it to Jackie Hansen. She's done a good job because they've basically been in previous administrations just taking all the stuff off, and we've been fussing. And she's been finding and getting them put back up. So I just wanted to let you know that's out there. And I didn't communicate with the rest of the faculty, so I don't know if anyone else has anything else to announce. Those are all I know right now. Oh, dude. I'm sorry, guys. I should have gone before you.
It's okay. That's what happens when they zoom in. I'm just kidding. Yeah,
So, Erica, so now we can.
Yeah.
Follow the ones off the.
thank, Patrick Keeler.
Yeah, nothing really to report yet, other than expect an invitation to a meeting for sometime late next month. That's when we'll get the discussion for the Sentinel program started.
Alrighty, thank you. Michael Jordan.
Hello, everyone. I'm greeting you from Missouri right now, so it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, just as a side note. So last week, State and Private Forestry, we had our program of work meeting, and that basically is for the next year, how we will, do things and things. So it'll affect you, Rudy, a bit, and also some other things. The other thing, and I'm not sure if I should say too much about this, Rudy, you might want to introduce a little bit, but the Joint Chiefs Project, I know Christine signed it, but if you want to add anything, if I'll let you do it.
I know.
Sorry for putting you on the spot, Rudy.
We need a meeting to be on the same page on that thing again.
Correct. So, long story short, the NRCS side, just because of the typhoon and they were super busy with their responsibilities, they have delayed getting the funding till next year. And that aspect is dealing with basically a modified equip that would affect, all the farmers and everything in your area. Okay. So more will come from the NRCS side. I know NRCS side needs to have some more meetings and stuff. Hopefully that'll happen in the next few months. But as far as the, Forest Service side, funding was approved. I know everyone with agriculture signed it, so it's just needing to get the some meetings to kind of explain how we should go forward and in modification just because of the typhoon. Okay. So hopefully in future meetings, we will be able to give more information on that. So maybe, I guess, 2 months from now, hopefully there'll be more to report on the next meeting. Okay. But just kind of be aware of that. The other issue I might mention is the next day, I'm going to go up to all places, Lincoln, Nebraska, to the National Agroforestry Center. Okay. So they have a meeting there. I'm doing a little presentation. I'm going to kind of talk about the agroforestry on the islands, but I'm also trying to say, let them not forget about us, since the Pacific Islands are really big on agroforestry. It just needs to kind of be promoted. That said, before I go up there, if there's any questions or anything you want me to ask or include, just send me a quick email. Okay. And can you do this, in the next 24 hours, okay? And I will go ahead and put inputs, just as a little side note, okay? But this is a resource and I think it's underutilized, but at the same time, I think their main focus is, of course, in the United States, mainland, and they kind of sometimes forget about us Pacific Islands, okay? I had been in good touch with them about a year ago, but they had a change in the head of the National Agroforestry Center. So I also kind of lost contact with them. So this will be something in the next few days, and I'll be more than happy to report what I said. But please, if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to address, just send me a quick email, okay, in the next day. Or if you have my WhatsApp, just message me on WhatsApp too, okay? Other than that, that is kind of the main things. I will just make the other situation. Hopefully there will not be a government shutdown, but if there is, come October 1st, I technically can't do any government work. Okay. Hope that does not happen. Okay. But that's something to be aware of. Other than that, that's basically it for now. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions?
When you coming back so I can do my calamansi?
Okay, so yes, so I will say this, I should be back around the end of this month on the 30th, but let's just say this much, and I'm going to be honest, if there's a government shutdown, I'm going to, let's just say, enjoy my mom's cooking for a bit, sorry, and I technically can't work anyway, so yes, but it should be end of this month, and if there's a government shutdown, it's, and I'll probably still come to Guam, but there might be a little flexibility, but yeah, so hopefully at the end of this month. Any other questions?
No.
Thanks,
I would
Mike.
just, if while you're there, stress to them that what they think is what they think they have as agroforestry does not compare to the true agroforestry of the Pacific Island traditional agroforestry systems.
That's great, and I agree with that. Can you do me a favor? So I'm actually going to be doing a presentation. So could you have my email if you want to send some things that I can include in my presentation. Please do that. I am going to include both my work email and also my personal email in the chat. So, if you don't have it, please send it to me so I can incorporate more. I do have pictures and things, but a little more information, the better. So I definitely want to do exactly what you stated.
Wow.
Right, thank you, Mike.
No problem. Anything else?
Thank you, Mike.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
All right, so that's all of our
That's the last-
partners. Yeah.
Okay. How come we'll go with the last one? All right, so moving on from there, we have our, well, public comments, there's nobody in public, right?
Negative.
Okay, announcements. So they got the free soil, is that?
I mean, we'll let you know. I
Yes,
just,
we just want-
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I have a few announcements, and this is under VSP. So we had the Guam International Coastal Cleanup on September 16. So thank you all who participated in that. I think we had around 2,000 participants from schools and different organizations and just individuals who wanted to help out. And then tomorrow, actually, September 21st, we have our 8th annual Planner Symposium. So for those of you who are not familiar with our Planner Symposium, so VSP holds a Planner Symposium annually. This year's theme is mobilizing the Guahan 2050 Sustainable Development Plan, providing a framework for public participation. So the 2050 Guam's Sustainability Plan is an update on the Guam's comprehensive plan development plan from 1978, which was not approved by the governor during that time. So this is really something that, partners and individuals should definitely be a part of. It's kind of like a workshop. We'll be having 6 tables. So there's going to be moderators or QR codes. So people will be doing surveys and providing their input on different areas, or there are different tracks. So let me know if you need the link to register on Eventbrite. It is at the Hyatt Regency Guam, and it's all day. It's an all-day affair. Happy hour at the beach. So registration starts at 7:30. So we anticipate about a little over 200 participants, about 220 so far. So it's a big event. All right, and then our Guam Board System Plan Summit was supposed to take place on September 26th, so that has been postponed to January 31st of next year. Yeah, all these events happening all at once. So yeah, let me know if you would like to attend tomorrow and you haven't registered yet. Thank you.
Hey, anybody else have an announcement? We're good. Yeah. Okay, so next meeting would be Wednesday, September 27th at 4 p.m. and it'll be the room 126. Is that the plan?
Yes, that's our,
Oh, that's our, regular board meeting. But of course, if you have any interest in attending for whatever, you're welcome to that shit.
It'll be in your room, but
yes.
Okay, I
Okay.
want to say thank you for everybody for showing up, even on Zoom. At least you guys made the effort. And some guys back in the States, Michael. Thank
Are
you.
you sure you're Missouri? Because I see banana trees back there. Looks like you're long. I'm just kidding.
Thank you. Don't worry. It's only 2:21 in the morning.
Wow.
Shall we, you want to move for adjournment?
Yes, please. Okay, that motion, somebody.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 5:21 p.m.
I second that motion.
Thank you. All in favor?
I
I know we didn't hear from Glenn.
He's laughing emoji. Okay.